was Drew.
See, I always fall for that. It's terrible. Someone will say true in the background. I'm like, huh, damn.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, wow. Is that? Woohoo. Good.
Got my barrel of water for today. Gotta stay hydrated.
It's not just me. It hasn't. I'm still the same character, I think. Oh boy. Yay!
Sweet.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Boon Legion.
The toaster.
I am ready.
Green. It's me, of course, darker green.
Oh, you need 2 sets? You have the pink ones, right? They're relatively new. Or did you use those last time? Oh, no. That's bad juju. You got yellow ones? Let's go yellow. I like that color combo.
Me too.
I'm okay with it.
Oh.
That'd be cool.
Sure.
Sure.
Did Logan go mute?
Yes, he's muted in the Google Meet.
So last time,
It was on the Meet.
I thought it
itself,
was
wasn't
me
mine.
again. And I was like, I guess everything.
Yeah, no, we did it again, whatever it is. Yeah, okay, it's gone. Yeah, you good.
I can hear you now.
I don't think it's a cable thing because we can see that you're getting muted in the Google Meet. If you does it do that? Let's find out.
I don't see you doing anything. Oh,
Yep.
sounds like an all right place.
Just about which is they're poisonous.
Seems like a statue. As it seems like a statue to me.
What's the bog witches? Why would the statue lie?
Okay.
And we were able to hear at least much of what was being said through the door, right? But there was like
casino white noise.
Did we hear anything about Kamin's associate talking about that they would be leaving? Yes, come to Driftchapel, I believe.
Or I'm going to Driftchapel. See you there.
Oh golly. Well, okay. So I thought I had it written in my notes here, but evidently not. Did we two see what happened to Kamin, like him leaving, like, or did like that happen like
we were behind
just after?
Yeah. No, I like walked in and they had just vanished. We
Yeah, and we did an initiative roll off to see between me and Sludig.
Okay, so Amina does know like what direction he headed in. Okay. She's gonna sprint in that direction and start banging on the wall. Kamin! Kamin! Because she's freaked the fuck out.
I want to go check that cupboard, see if there's any journal, whatnot, anything that might describe how they would just disappear. $16.
It happens.
I'll snatch it and then rush over towards Amina. Can't tell if I found anything. Did you see something?
I'm trying to. After like banging for a few seconds, it's like quickly she realizes it's pointless, so she starts feeling around like the door to try and feel like, and just like I'm trying. I don't understand how he could have just disappeared like that. There's no mechanism, or wait, could I notice if there's anything about the store? Would that be something I need to roll for? Like just feeling around.
No rectangular shaped hole.
A Kamin-shaped hole.
Lovely. Well, that's interesting how that got there. What did you find, Sludig?
Just this little silver box. Haven't really examined it. It was found in a jacket pocket.
Silver box.
I hand it over to Amina to see if she knows anything.
Is it locked?
Anything inside?
Deck of cards. Just a deck. Do I see anything strange about it? $24. Well, that's a peculiar choice of design. One that I hope does not have any dangerous properties about it, as she quickly shoves it back inside the silver box. Right. She's gonna take like a second or so to look at it, and as soon as she notices that it's starting to look like what we've already seen, shoves it right back in the box.
Curse cards, curse cards. Nope, nope, nope.
I want them.
Where's some sage when you need it?
But that door you were slamming on it, is there no way to open it?
I mean, this handle just appeared here, and I haven't the faintest clue as how that it just keeps appearing here, but, well, unless you want to go try our luck in the underground river, this is as best of a shot as we got.
I mean, we'll have to see what happens. We've seen stranger things than door handles appearing.
True. Very, very true. So let's see here. How do we want to proceed? We've got to make sure that we're prepared for if anything does come out that's dangerous. So Amina's going to cast Mage Hand and have her crossbow just nearby, floating, in case something does happen. And Sludig, my dear, would you mind doing the honors?
Of course. Haven't you heard a gentleman's supposed to open the door? I open the door to sorrow. Not necessarily that. It's more like, is this a portal? Is this hell? Is this worse? Opens it, it's just another stone wall. Nice horse, bro.
There's a hole in the bottom of the sea.
Now, I got lightning hand punch. But welcome to the Spoon Legion, diamond hand punch. That's in the great. I do. I haven't used daylight yet, but it has light.
Tate, little tater tot. Oh my god, it's Tate.
Make a sanity roll. Did we just become best friends? Oh, sorry. I would like to go make a medicine check on Kamin to see if he is still alive. Sorry. 11.
Oh no, it was real.
Oof.
I would definitely like to do that. You know, give him a tourniquet, make sure that goes away.
Oh. Oh, good
Coming
God.
to very forcefully with that sound, I'm just gonna like tear my stump away from saluting and just kind of like wriggle away from anything that I see, and I'm gonna like just fire off to Eldritch Blast somewhere in the room because it scared the shit out of me.
Okay, so is this a weeping angel type of scenario where it only moves when we look away and come back?
It is now.
Okay. No, I have some ideas. But first, now that I notice that Kamin has come to, I of course run and say, "Hey, Kamin, what happened? Are you what happened? Did you do this? Are you okay?" And Amina starts rifling for like a potion of healing to like get him back on his feet.
No words, just wide-eyed and trying to figure out what is happened, what is going on, where he is.
What happened to you?
I don't know. Ow.
That knife? Did you do this to yourself?
I think so.
Well, either way, I think we need to be making our way out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I've got a greater potion of healing that I think I'm going to hand to Kamin.
Oh,
Here, drink this.
Okay. That will be probably way better than what I had. So.
I'll pop Malachi out right quick and then drink that potion. Greater's 4d4, right?
Yes. Plus
So
4.
Yeah, so that's 16 hit points to me. Because Malachi is there now. Yay. That brings me up because I was down pretty low. Is the bleeding mostly stopped from my stump? Is my hand still there on the ground? I will collect my hand and put it back in my pocket. Fucking gotta worry about that later.
Oh.
Right now, Kamin just kind of doesn't want to believe that any of it happened, but it absolutely did, and the fact that he's missing a hand is very much proof of that. But it's fine. It's fine. We're going to keep going, and we'll deal with this trauma later. Just keep pushing it somewhere else until it all wells up, and I can't stop it anymore.
I see. Do we see this in the emptiness in his
Pushing
eyes?
it somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Until it all
Okay.
wells up, and I
look over to Amina and whisper, I think you may deal with this for quite a bit long after them when we get out of here. We should probably just head back and worry about exploring another day.
Well, It sure seems like a safer route. Say, and turning to both of them now, say, do either of you happen to have a, I don't know, heavy blunt weapon with you right now?
No.
I'm gonna, as she turns to say this to me, as like they're having their little aside, I'm gonna start like reaching around in my pockets, but it's awkward because it's my right hand reaching into my left side pockets, to pull out my little pouch of anti-anxiety pills that I was given, and I'm going to eat all of them.
Oh golly.
I'll wash it down with a healing potion.
God. Okay. Well, since we don't have anything heavy or blunt, Logan, I want to ask something that we can do. Hopefully this works out. Can I cast True Strike on myself? Okay. I want to do something crafty and see how well I can get through this. Amina, as soon as Amina like sees that, okay, Kamin is like being healed, kind of doing okay, she's gonna pull her dagger out, and probably the handle part would be best for this. She's gonna go straight towards that statue and like carefully examine the neck of it. And as soon as she can find anything that looks close to a weak spot, she's going to cast True Strike on herself and just go whack on it and try to like just completely decapitate that statue.
Nice.
Yes, I don't want that thing following us.
That's a good call. I'd been so preoccupied with Kamin that I'd forgotten the strange statue.
So, if there's nothing else that we need to do in this chamber, let's get out of here while we still have at least most of our lens.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
I still have it. It's just not attached.
God, I didn't want to say that.
That guy owed me money.
Is someone quiet?
Yeah.
Is it me?
All of us, but also
Oh.
Logan. Everybody sit up for Tate.
I mean, I feel as though the safest way is to just go back the way we were coming.
So swim upstream?
I mean, unless we want to try and figure out a way back to that tunnel. So,
Well,
I don't feel
Kamin is
getting
in no
lost down
condition to
here.
do any sort of swimming, and somehow I don't think he'll be able to maintain the levitation that he did last time. And as much as I'm really scared and nervous to admit, we might just have to follow that stream, because it's probably very likely going to lead us back to Driftchapel.
I mean, you're probably right, but if we do follow that, I feel as though we are risking death. Though I guess we already are here.
And we haven't been risking death already.
No, but I feel so things will just keep getting worse the further we go. Aiden, I guess it's your call. Which do you feel as though you're more able to handle?
2 notes. First, talking about
Sharp and B flat.
boo. First note for Kamin. Start talking about casting spells and stuff.
Oh no.
As you may guess, casting spells that have any kind of hand gestures, or that's somatic,
no.
right?
Yes.
Somatic is hand gestures. Spells that have a somatic component might be more difficult to cast. Until you get used to it, until you take a long rest to practice having one hand and casting spells.
I gotta Doctor Strange this shit.
Got to Doctor Strange this shit. And for everyone else, what you using sort of the map that you have and the kind of journey you took to get this far, you can either, yes, swim back upstream. You know, that will be definitely hella exhausting. Well, definitely without spells to help you and stuff. Plenty of athletics checks and plenty of time to do it. But the alternative, going back downstream and following the current, you're still several days from Driftchapel. I mean, there's still a chance you could find another like outcropping and go back up to the surface, but who knows how long that could take. And so there's a good chance you could be swimming for who knows how long.
And there's no sort of path along the river. It's just steep river.
Only like, so in this area specifically, there's this kind of land path ledge, and it looked like there were more of those statues farther down, so it looks like there may be another one over there, but you know, that could be a regular thing, it could be a super irregular thing.
Oh, here's a thought. How many of the doors that we have gone through so far are made of wood?
Most of them have been carved out of stone.
Is there at least one that's been made out of wood?
We'll say the first door you went through was made out of wood, because I feel like I may have said that.
All right, and how big is said door?
Big enough for Rose, but not big enough for Jack.
I knew someone was gonna say that. Oh God!
Fucking terrible. Maybe about 3 feet wide, 6.5 to 7 feet tall.
Okay, Mina's gonna go over there, start inspecting the integrity of it, like feeling like how strong it is, and well, and she'll turn and say, we can at least try floating on this if possible. At least if this is buoyant enough, which I'm sure it must be, we can at least have some sort of lifeline, some sort of life raft, what have you. That way we're not at the mercy completely of what's under the water.
That is smart. Does it look like something we could all, or even more than one of us, float on? Or is it just something that one of us max, the rest of us are holding on?
It probably the second one, and even that kind of depends on which one, because if like Sludig you're on it, then it might weigh it down more, make it a little harder, but at the very least each of you could like hold on to it and swim along. I mean, stab a dagger through it and you've got a handle and can just like one arm float on it like a little raft.
This is the world's creepiest lazy river.
Well, that sounds like an excellent idea, because we all have more or less things that we could stab in it, and we still have rope too, if I recall. So we're better off than swimming.
This is true.
Did you guys drink your potions of water breathing last time we were swimming?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
And at this point, I think you've probably they last
An hour.
An hour.
And I think the first like the initial trip took about 20 minutes. That probably took 15, 20 minutes. We'll say 15 minutes. It kind of took a little while.
I will produce mine and just gesture it forth to the two of them. I don't think I need this.
What are you talking about? Did you procure some sort of underwater breathing power while you were in there?
No, apparently I've had it the whole time, but forgot to read that part of my character sheet.
That's what he thinks inside, and he says, "Yes, this is new."
Out as
Yeah, no, this is all new. It's totally new. It definitely.
He must be really sick from this blood loss. You're first on the door.
You're like, he's totally fucking out of it. There's no way he's gonna breathe. He's gonna drown the moment he gets in.
First he says the bog, which is a poison, guys, and now he says he can breathe underwater. Okay, Kamin.
Oh man, so that's the plan. Break down the door, use it as a raft with handles.
Sounds
That's good
solid to me.
We're flowing with the stream or trying to go upstream?
How big was that cabinet door?
Only like 2x3. It's not huge, but for the light enough person, it can maybe serve as a little raft, a little floaty, possibly.
Might as well bring it for a secondary something.
It already broke off anyway.
Got nothing. We got it. Did the work already.
Snap it in half. You got 2 paddles to.
Yeah.
I guess we head down in our poor man's raft.
So, getting the door off its hinges, it takes a little work, but Sludig enough. Even in your sickened state, just a couple minutes, eventually you're able to get it off. Smash some daggers into it, get them affixed in there, and you'll be ready to go. As you start to float down the waterway, leaving that sort of ledge with the door and stairs behind, the ledges disappear on either side. You get those slick cavern walls again, but eventually as you get closer, you start seeing those statues with the firelight again. And eventually as you get closer and closer and closer and closer to those, you see another ledge up. Similar to before, these natural columns that have formed, shadows all behind them, a few extra statues along the edges. Go ahead, all 3 of you, give me a perception check. And if you're poisoned, you still have disadvantage, I believe.
That is all ability checks.
Ooh, 28.
Still at 25.
17.
18 and 9.
Damn, guys. With the rushing of water around, you can't hear too much. But you do notice that there is one statue that's a little bit away from the edge and actually a little farther back. What's presumably against a wall or toward a tunnel or something. You see another flame burning. It's presumably one of those statues. But keep floating along. Eventually, the ledge. You see the end of it, and the last statue and firelight. But then you see another ledge over to your right that kind of forms a tunnel and digs a little deeper, but then immediately comes out another way where you see statues, little outcroppings following it along. Now, at this point, as you're rounding this final bend, you're kind of done sort of like a big S curve where like up here you sort of hit where the stairs and doors were. You went through just like a waterway, and then you hit another area of ledges. Now you're kind of coming out the bottom here. By the time you reach this bottom turn round the curve, you see statue, firelight, and a door built in sort of the rocky face. And those of you who travel a lot, have been doing a lot of wilderness, and for maybe even Amina some dungeon delving in her days, kind of good at mind mapping now, kind of picturing like, okay, we took this turn, this turn. That door matches the stone doors that you walked through previously. So it's probably the one that was opposite side of that gambling room, that sort of empty room. But you see silhouettes moving outside of it. You see several, upwards of 10 to 15 silhouettes. Some of them are hunched and long arms, almost dragging the stone, while others kind of cloaked and hooded walking around. You're not close enough to hear them with all the water and stuff, but they seem to be searching around. And as you're kind of floating along, you see that nearby, they've tied off something, and as it makes itself more known, there's a boat, a little rowboat that they have rowed upstream in, that they're just now tying off and putting away.
Stealing their boat.
But right now, assuming you have the orb out, do you...
Oh no, that was me miming.
Oh, okay, I didn't see you do that, that's fine.
If I'm still on the door, I'm gonna slip off of the door.
Mm-hmm.
So that we're all mostly obscured by the water at this point.
Okay. You start noticing, I assume you try and like slow down and kind of angle your float a little bit.
However we can.
So effectively, one of you will have to steer that. So whoever wants to make that athletics check to swim around.
I got a good athletics. I know you're poisoned right now.
I still have a plus 13 though.
I got a +7.
Okay, that's actually never mind. Will he be able to do that one-handed?
With one hand, that's true.
Well, it's I assume that you kind of have like, you know, your armpit just kind of holding with your bad arm, and then using your...
an extra tentacle too.
And you got a tentacle. Yeah, absolutely.
That's true. That's true.
I'm gonna go for it. Sweet. That's a 25.
Yeah. So eventually, even with all of your help, you're eventually able to reach a point where you have a good view, and you can kind of find a handhold on the wall and just kind of park for a second as the water rushes around you and peering. You notice that there is someone still in the boat, making sure it's all tied off. But you also notice over near the boat, where the area it's tied off, the ledge is only maybe a foot above the water line, so it's easy enough to climb up. But you notice something moving in the water. It takes a moment or two, or it looks almost like... At first you think it's the torchlight, the firelight flickering off the water's surface. But then you start realizing, no, it's light underwater. And then you see a big webbed hand and a long arm come out and plop up as you see those similar weird angler fish person climb up out of the water. You see 1, 2 climb out. Then you see a couple others scaling the wall nearby, climbing up. And they all seem to be like searching. You see the little hanging light at the front of their forehead moving around as they're searching and looking around. So if I can get the 3 of you to make a stealth check for me.
Oh boy.
Oh.
26.
And that's
Let me check something.
What'd you get, Drew?
Each night
15.
down. Sweet. I'm gonna spin the pocket watch real quick, and then I'm gonna roll. So pocket watch spin. Okay, that's a 12. I'm gonna set that aside over here. My stealth check is a 14. It's a second 12. Doing great. Everything's fine.
Average.
So all the while, you see these figures keep climbing up until eventually, Total, watching the scene a little bit closer, there are two robed figures standing up on the ledge. There's one down in the boat, but there's another standing figure, kind of long hair, with like raincoat of some sort, standing with the robed figures. But 9 of these fish creatures climbing up, walking, looking around. And the 3 of you notice as 2 spotlight yellow eyes seem to look directly in your direction. And then you see this creature just let go and into the water and disappear.
I want to duck down under the water and look under the water for the thing.
Drew, you had a finger up?
Seeing Kamin act, I'm going to hold my hand on the drift globe instead of doing what I was going to do.
Oh
Oh
no.
no, what were you
no.
gonna
I'm
do?
going to throw it and cast daylight and hope
Okay.
to find these deep sea creatures.
Do I see horrible fish things swimming towards us?
You duck your head underwater and you see a horrible fish thing swimming straight toward you. But it didn't make any noises or alerts or anything. It's almost as if it were checking it out first. And so it's swimming towards you, and as you kind of make eye contact, its big toothy mouth opens.
I cast Bigby's hand.
Bigby's
Hang on,
tentacle, you mean?
Yeah, it is. It is. It specifically says in the book, this is a warlock spell added for the Fathomless. Bigby's hand appears as giant tentacle.
Yep. Let me see here. Herbal somatic material.
Oh boy, do I need to make some kind of check to actually cast it?
Are you proficient in Arcana? I assumed not. I feel like any non-wizard, they're not gonna be proficient.
Oh, wait a second. Am I close enough to touch him?
Yes.
I'm gonna cast True Strike on Kamin.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work. But first, we'll see what happens. Kamin, if you will make a charisma check for me.
Do I have to say that I'm gonna use the 12 before I roll?
Yes.
Shit. Just a charisma check?
Just a charisma check.
16. I use my 12.
You see a tentacle release from your hands, and it reaches about halfway and fizzles out.
No.
You rolled high enough to not burn the spell slot.
Oh, that's very good.
That is nice. Very
But
kind.
remember that in the future, you rolled high enough to not spend the spell slot. And with that, the creature breaks the surface of water, let out a shrieking noise.
Grenade!
Daylight out!
So you throw daylight out. We'll see how far it goes, Drew. So go ahead and make we'll just make it sort
It
of
can go maximum of 60 feet before it goes weep and just floats back to me.
Oh, that's right. It floats. Right?
That's something I did not know
Yeah.
about drift globes.
It's because it's a drift globe. It just drifts around, shining light.
Yeah, I forgot about that. USB command where to eliminate the globe hovers in this environment to creature grants you through the 6 feet from the glass.
What a cool magic
Oh,
item.
then that's definitely fine. So yeah, you can definitely huck it up to 60 feet and it'll just cover, and illuminate everything with daylight. And with that, we'll pick up with an initiative roll, but we will take a quick toilet cat and refill and snack break, and then we will see if you guys
survive this onslaught of
or
fish.
if you just decide to float away and just be like,
That's kind of the plan.
You know
go.
what?
I say
No.
we book it for the boat. We kill the guy who's on the boat, and then we shoot him the bird as we float away.
Fuck
Rad.
this shit,
Except
I'm
I have to
out.
do that.
plan.
You know?
So we'll take a quick break and be right back. Dark chocolate and sea salt. Look at you,
Granola.
freaking millennial.
Dude, it's at Aldi. It's super cheap, and that's also where I work. And
Definitely.
it's really good, and it's not that fattening. Oh boy.
There we go. Combat music was a little too quiet for my taste.
Oh my
Okay, so let's go and get initiatives. Go ahead and roll for me.
Okay, now I forget.
Plus your
There's a number I'm
dexterity.
supposed to add. Thank you. God, so embarrassed I didn't know that till recently. Ooh,
okay.
21.
It's a 19
Six.
for me.
No way. You say 6?
Yeah, that disadvantage on ability checks sucks,
It
and
does.
initiative's an ability check.
It is.
Bradley, you said 19,
I did.
and Amina, you said 21.
Mhm.
Okay. Man, almost rolled all the same initiatives. It was very close.
Oh, great. So they all move at the same time.
Yep. So there was no point in even rolling. Let's just. So, first things first. So from your perspective, Amina, you watched Kamin go underwater, and then you saw this deep one, this fish, anglerfish-like humanoid, burst from the water, shriek, and dive back down. Just as Sludig saw that happening, he lobbed his daylight drift globe out to try and do some kind of blinding, distract them, something. You all are presumably attached to your raft. I will kind of assume you are in some way holding on to it at all times, using a free hand, or for Kamin, a elbow,
Tentacle.
a tentacle. And then on top of that, for distance purposes, let's see. Yeah, we'll put you guys about 30 feet from the landing with the boat. So, you're upriver from that. So theoretically, you'll be more, it'll take you more than 60 feet to get out of sight from anyone. There's also a ledge over to your right, just across the water, about 15 feet. But it's maybe about 5 to 10 feet up, kind of a slippery surface. But you could go ahead and try and get out of the water on that side rather than floating and swimming your way over there. But as of right now, who just did a thing? Someone, foolish warlock.
Hosted us.
Thanks, Justin.
Yay.
Always forget. Foolish warlock.
That's me.
That's Now I'm imagining Kamin using his tentacle, and his tentacle is holding his severed hand to hold on to stuff.
Relax.
To
He
get
just
that
has
extra-
mage hand
got the
up
thumb.
his sleeve at all times.
Yeah,
Is his hand.
If I could, I would. Don't have that spell.
that'd be nice. So you can
I have
either
a real hand.
You can either swim and climb up the sheer surface to your right, try and swim and catch the ledge over there, or stay over here at the raft, shoot your crossbow at some of the things you can see. It'll be up to you, Amina. I don't know if that was a lot to throw at you.
Oh Golly, yeah. Okay. So
If it helps make a decision at all, the
Mhm.
fish folk definitely respond to that screech in an animalistic way. It was definitely a warning, and they are all converging on that position.
right.
The
Okay.
human-ish folks that were with them are not as adept with that, and so they're all like looking around, holding up lanterns, like, what, where, what? Um, but you imagine that in any moment, all those fish folk will be dropping down to the water and swimming toward you all.
Okay. God, okay. I don't want to do this, but I feel like I have to. So Amina is going to first of all let the other two know that um basically I'm not gonna signal like I'm about to be out of sight, but I'll be close. And um she'll let go of the raft and she's going to try to climb the ledge that you said was what 5-10 feet something. It was like you said it's on the opposite side.
Yeah, and with swimming,
Just get the ring of swimming.
you have the ring of swimming. So it'll be easy enough. It'll use your movement, period, to take your time and be careful, swim across, and get up there. But once you do, you will get some cover from some of the stalagmites and stalactite columns that have formed. You can take cover in some shadows that are being created by the daylight. And then that way you still have your action and bonus action to still use if you so wish.
Perfect.
There will be, unless you take cover behind one of these sort of natural rocks, there will be a much harder opportunity to take cover because of the daylight that's being blasted over. There's not really a whole lot of like sticking to the shadows at the walls because there just really aren't any at the moment.
Right. Okay, well, if it's possible to do it this turn, then I'm going to try and find the nearest stalagmite or stalactite or stalag structure and like just like hide.
Yes, you can definitely do that. Go ahead. Make a stealth check. That'll be your cunning action bonus action.
Okay, that's going to be 14.
Okay. Oh gosh, excuse me. So, you get up there. You hide, and you still have an action to do something. You could take a shot if you want to. You could ready something for if something else happens. You could do something, cast a spell, whatever kind of thing from this singular column-like shadow.
That's an excellent point. And I already have Mage Hand cast on my crossbow. It is floating in there, ready to go. What I think I'll do is. Could you describe for me the condition of the eyes of the fish people?
Just like what they are like.
Does it look like they're accustomed to light or not? Does it look like they're actually true like deep sea eyes that have like no light perception? Or whatever, whichever it may be.
They're definitely adapted to darkness of the deep sea, but from what you've seen and experienced, they're not necessarily hindered by light. They just more prefer the darkness. But
Okay.
no, we'll wait that a second. So as of right now, they're not necessarily like screeching at the daylight, but it's definitely starting to catch them off guard, and we'll see what happens on their turn.
Okay. I have nothing that would deal with all of them at once. I'm just gonna prepare a regular old crossbow for the time being and keep an eye out on my allies.
So you're gonna wait until one gets close to them, and just Take a little pot shot from the shadows. Perfect.
Sniper, baby.
You see Kamin break the surface of the water again.
Honestly, that's fair.
I deserved it. Rad. So now Drew, if you make a dexterity check for me, of course, at disadvantage for being poisoned.
Huh, 19.
The most brutal words to say. Disadvantage because you're poisoned.
Yeah, it makes everything bad.
There are, so what I'm going to say is that there are 4 of these, besides the one that's in the water, that spotted Kamin. There are 4 that are, like, prowling on the ledges with the other humanoid folks, and then 4 clinging to the walls, sort of slithering around almost. I'm going to roll some checks for them, and if they get a 19 or higher, they will be unaffected by the light. If they don't, then we'll see what happens. So, wall folks, they get a natural 2. Shout out to the 2 crew. And then the standing folks get a natural 19, so they're okay. So you all watch, and Amina, you probably glance from the shadows as the orb sails through the air and it reaches its stopping point. It blasts out with light, and the 4 that are clinging to the walls immediately let go, covering their eyes, and just clumsily smack down into the water, flopping around all along the way. And then that brings it to their turn. Of course, with their flopping around, they cannot figure out what to do, so their turn is a little bit slowed down. The other 4, or 5, including the nearby one, are going to dive into the water and like a bullet swim upstream toward you all. And once they're almost like in a pod, their angler lights are illuminating the water, and it's almost creating a spotlight headed toward you all. So let's see here. If I could get Kamin and Sludig to each make an athletics check or acrobatics check. Of course, Sludig, disadvantage. We'll do one at a time. Kamin, give me your 2 checks.
2 checks?
Yep.
17 and 19.
Alright, and Sludig, give me your 2 checks.
19 and 26.
So Sludig, you feel wet, slimy hands grabbing at your legs and immediately start kicking at them. Kamin, you feel some slimy hands grabbing at your legs, and you start to kick and flail, but one of them gets a hand on you. Not enough to pull you down deeper underwater or anything.
Oh no.
Yep, oh no, but enough to just grab onto you to keep you from moving anywhere. And as part of that, they will make their attack. Does a 12 hit, Kamin?
No. That felt so good to say.
Yeah, so instead of scratching at your legs, they just kind of like move their slimy hands up and down your calf.
Please don't
you
say that and do that motion. What?
Oh, golly.
Nice horse there. What you call it?
That's not my leg. So that is the end of all of their turns. The others are still flopping aimlessly in the water, trying to regain their composure from that blast of daylight. And now it brings it to Kamin. You've got 1 holding onto your ankle and just groping it, but you have 2 total kind of at your legs.
How far away is the rowboat from us?
About 30 feet.
30 feet.
And you're downriver,
How
so you
many?
could just float along if you let go and make it there.
How many fish people are between me and that boat
Presumably, like, at least 6, maybe. Because of the 4 that fell into the water. And Amina, for your held action, you do see the, like, lights and them sort of, like, wrestling. but you don't see any of them break the water just yet. So you could try to take a shot at just where you see light, but it'll be harder.
Sure.
It'll be up to you. If you wish to take the shot, or you can keep waiting until a better opportunity.
No, go ahead. Well, if I can do something now, I'd like to take a shot at one of the fish that's incapacitated.
As in, like,
Easy.
oh, I see what. Yeah.
Eliminate their numbers a little bit before they come to. Because if I try to shoot in the direction of the raft, I risk hitting Kamin and Sludig.
That's true. Go ahead and just roll to hit.
Okay. Wait, no, that's my damage stuff. I forget which dice do I need to roll for that?
It'll be a d20 plus your to hit bonus, which is like your dexterity and proficiency.
Okay.
Should be next to your crossbow, theoretically.
Okay. Wow, I feel stupid. I think I only have an attack bonus and my damage type.
Well, what's the attack bonus?
+8.
Then yeah, that's what you'll add to the d20 roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
25.
Nice.
Yeah, even with them being underwater, you take the shot, and you're like, okay, if the light is their head, gotta aim in this little area. And if you would, go ahead, roll your damage. There will be no sneak attack on this, though.
Okay.
Just because, sneak attack is sort of like finding the opening on them, and you're sort of firing blindly in their general area. So it'll be the straight crossbow damage.
Okay, that is going to be, that's going to be a 7.
Okay. You see the light twitch, head kind of break the water, a little bit of a screech. And, Kamin, you can go about your turn.
My head being underwater still. I can see the, 6 some odd fish people between me and the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, no, of course not.
Effectively, you have the 2 that are right at your legs trying to pull you down, and then the cluster that has fallen into the water up ahead. So they're a little incapacitated, but probably not for long.
I'm gonna poke my head up out of the water and just say, we need to get to that boat. And I'm going to... Oh, hang on, let me check. Before I do that, I need to figure out what the components of this spell are. It's just verbal. I'm going to poke my head up out of the water, say, we need to get to the boat, and I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Misty Step.
Ooh.
Nice.
And I'm going to appear on the boat. And you said there was one jackass still just chilling out on the boat,
Yes.
holding it down.
Yes.
Cool. What's up, dude?
And you immediately see kind of the withered, tattooed face of a cultist.
I mean, the proper thing to do would be to Eldritch Blast him twice, but I kind of just want to punch him. But that would not work at all.
With your nub.
You're doing more damage to yourself than you do him.
Yeah. How hearty does this cultist look?
As hardy as all the rest of them. In your
Am I
experience,
like
that over there.
not very? Am I right next to him? How big of a rowboat are we talking?
10
10
sit 4, so yeah, anywhere from 5 to 10 feet. It's not huge.
I'm right next to him. I will cast Mind Sliver. So I need him to make an intelligence save.
Well then. Oh, almost lost it. That was almost a dirty 20, but how does a 7 sound?
That fails. Wow. It's going to take 11 points of psychic damage, because that was a good-ass roll.
What does it look like when you mind sliver him and he dies?
I want to jump up on the boat and like cast the mind sliver, but also just punch him in the face. It was like I hit him. It doesn't really do that much damage, but you do like blood pouring from his eyes, nose, and ears as his brain melts, and then just like body falls off of the back of the boat into the water.
Oh, great! So you're now standing on the boat.
Is it a what resource of an action is it to summon?
Bonus
I feel like
action.
it's a bonus
probably.
action. That would make sense.
Okay, so let's see here. Mark that. Mark him down. Okay. So
Yeah,
with
I'm done.
that, you hear. This is amazingly beautiful. Narration, cinematic, it all just worked out just beautifully like this campaign is wont to do. And you hear a hissing sound, Kamin, as you land on the boat and look. And the daylight shining overhead, you see over near the door, nearby the statue. The door is open and you see another cultist standing in it, but then two more figures standing a little ways away. One of them robed, gaunt, scarred cultist, but the other one more so. Hair withered, face gaunt and bones protruding, and a raincoat that seems to have been blood stained. And you look up at the face where the hair is covering it, and a bit of glowing in the eyes, and a hiss and this black vapor coming from the mouth as you see the corpse of Aveline, the woman from the Birdsong Estate. Head crack, shoulder kind of click a little bit, and then almost like grudge run, arms kind of wild toward you.
Back for round 2, although I look like shit this time.
So she leaps from the upper ledge, lands in the boat, it rocks back and forth, and immediately lunges out toward you. So the first, dirty 20.
Yes.
I need you to make a
Shocking.
Constitution saving throw.
17.
Okay. You take 5 points of necrotic damage.
That is 5 times lower than I thought it was gonna be.
And then a hand comes up, knife clutched, underhanded. Second strike, that's definitely gonna miss with a 9. And she is hissing in this black, strange vapor coming from her mouth. And then that will now bring it to those other cultists. We were going to hang back for a second. See you standing in the boat. Point fingers at you. There's only 2 of them, so they don't need to yell commands or anything. So they both chant in unison. And Sludig, holding on to the raft, Kamin standing in the boat, the water, the current starts to rush faster. The boat and raft start to rock, and the crashing of waves echoes in this tunnel. So, Kamin, if I could get you to make some wisdom saving throws. Yep.
All right. Was a warlock? I'm proficient in that, right? I am. That is very helpful. Oh God. 14
Okay.
and 16.
Okay. You do not succumb to the crashing of the waves,
It's a +1 modifier.
which that's very narratively satisfying. That feels good.
It does feels very good.
You stifle the feeling down, you deafen out that sound, and the crashing of the waves subsides ever so slightly. And then now that brings it to Sludig. You are kicking at 2 of those creatures, but Kamin just abandoned his 2 there, so you kind of have 4 all around you.
So I wiggle my feet super fast, and as a bonus action, I spend a key point to use Step of the Wind to disengage. And I have 45 feet of movement speed that I want to use to go towards the boat.
Do you have the water walk stuff yet?
No, I wish. That'd be awesome.
I don't know what level that is. The unarmored movement improvement, where you can run across the surface of water.
9th,
9th.
and I'm only 6 levels of monk.
Oh, that's right. That's why I said we are 9th level.
I imagine that, like, you're like, yes, I can do it. And the moment you go to step on the water, you're like, okay, I'm swimming. Yeah, and you have just billions of feet of movement, so easily enough you're able to get over to the boat, swimming with the current.
Alright, before I get into the boat, you said Aveline is now on the boat next to
Yep.
Kamin.
Yep.
I want to grab her feet as my action to grapple her and yank her into the water.
Make an athletics check at disadvantage.
22.
Come on, nat 20. Natural 19 for a
Oh, you said natural,
21.
and I was like, oh man.
21. No, she gets pulled down into the water. So Kamin, you get hit a little bit, dodge out of the way, and all of a sudden you look, gone.
Can I use the rest of my movement speed to get into the boat?
Yeah.
Just trade places with her.
She's gonna, we'll say, narratively, you kind of move out of her range a little bit, but you disengage. So she reaches up with this hand oozing black vapor, like her mouth and now her eyes. And as you reach, you just clap her in the wrist and it flies back.
Oh
High
god.
five.
Oh yeah, it's that meme where, like, you know, someone's drowning and the person reaches out and high fives them and they drown. That's what you do. Awesome. Wow, okay, that takes us back to the top of the Mina. You glance about, the daylight orb still floating in the air, and all of the sea creatures are floating around the water, wondering what just happened. And you see the Kamin and Sludig standing in the boat.
Options down. Okay, from where I am, how easily can I see Aveline 2.0?
She you can kind of see just her head and a little bit of her arms bobbing over the water, but because of the light you see it fairly clearly, but she's still partially hidden in water.
Okay. And the 4 cultists that were chanting earlier, are they still in that same area on the other side of the river?
Yes, they've moved a bit closer to keep an eye on the boat, but yeah. Drew, I think I'm getting a little bit of feedback from you.
Ooh, let me turn my fan off and see if that helps.
Because I think I was hearing like Daniel's voice. He goes,
Oh,
Audio
let me-
feedback.
Turn it down. I'm sorry.
no worries.
You good?
I guess
Gives
I just
me
didn't hear it
time.
when I was speaking because I was just too busy speaking.
Is this better?
Daniel, say so.
Seems to be.
I'm thinking of between one of two
Yeah, that's good.
actions because I don't know if my bonus action will let me do both of the things that I want to do. So because what I would like to do is to cast a spell scroll and then fire a bolt, but I don't know if that's gonna like take more than one turn, or if I could do it in one turn.
What's the spell scroll?
Hold person.
Yeah, you would have to do one or the other if you just want to use your action.
Okay.
Because each one would take your action to do. And
Oh.
if it changes anything from your position, if you use like... So, effectively as a rogue, you can move 3 times, whereas normal people, besides monks, can move twice. If you use 2 of your movements, so as a bonus action, movement, or action, use 2 of those, you could make it to the boat, theoretically. you're close enough. You just have to run around the edge. Or you can sort of stay in this sort of back sniper position and kind of help. But it's just depending on how quickly you want to make your escape, if that's your plan.
Right. Well, I want to make sure that my buddies live. So I am going to fire an incendiary bolt in the direction of the 4 cultists that are still on dry land.
Hell freaking yeah. Let me get that pulled up. I don't remember if it's in this. I've been moving a lot of stuff around because to get the pro Google stuff, I had to make like a new email. I couldn't just upgrade one, which is very dumb.
That is strange.
Which means I had to transfer a lot of like my Google Drive stuff, and now I can hardly keep track of where anything is anymore. So just give me 1 second. Because I make all sorts of stuff for D&D and I don't remember any of it. That's part of the reason why I don't like homebrew items, because you guys will bust out some stuff I gave to you like months ago, and I'm like, what? So let's see. Amina's Guide to Specialty Crafting Specialty Crossbow Bolts. The Incendiary Bolt. When the bolt hits a target, release a sticky adhesive fluid that ignites when exposed to air. Takes 1d4. Yes, like an alchemist fire. So you take the shot. So go ahead and roll to hit, Daniel.
Okay. And that's plus my attack. So that's going to be 25.
That's definitely going to hit. So go ahead. Go ahead and roll your crossbow bolt damage.
6.
D6 plus your dex, and I'll have their save.
It's going to be a 9 for the crossbow damage, and then do I need to do the D4 for fire damage as well?
Roll that.
All right. It's going to be 3 for the fire damage.
So these two cultists, bony hands outstretched, chanting the songs of the sea. The crossbow bolt hits the first one in the chest, and you aimed it just right. It hit it right in the shoulder, and as the crossbow bolt hits, he spins. And as he spins, it explodes. And this, the fluid inside the bolt spatters the guy next to him, and he catches on fire. And then they both fall to the ground, dead. You managed so well, Daniel, to kill both of those guys. Because the crossbow bolt alone was enough to kill the first person. I was like, well, naturally, it's got to go over.
Yeah.
And then you rolled a 3, and their hit points are 3, and I was like, come on. Okay, so Daniel, you attacked. You still got movement and bonus action if you wanted to run over there, because you'll effectively, as of right now, there's no one on the ledge. So you could just run there without issue and make it to the boat.
But nobody's seen me yet. So what I'll do... Okay, what I want to do... I want to try and move closer to the boat, but I still want to stay on this side, so whatever that translates to, just like moving still on the ledge that I'm at, but closing the gap between where I am and the boat.
And
I know eventually I'm going to
try and stay hidden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like to imagine that as Amina steps out and like is blasted by a little bit of daylight, and then Sluting and Kamin see her, they're both like, come on, we gotta go. And then Mina's like, shh, and keeps like slinking like Pink Panther over the next shadow. Like, no, I got this. I know what I'm doing. So Daniel, if you'll make another stealth check for me.
26.
Yeah, totally. Man, I gotta start playing more campaigns where it only goes from level like 1 to 4. Because the 3 campaigns I'm running, people are regularly rolling mid-20s, and I'm like, Come on, just give me something. Who just did a thing? Thanks for following Jay Bakes. Is that Jeremy Baker? I assume
The sandwich maker himself.
the sandwich maker. Thanks for following Jeremy. Oh man, I like having people come and stop by. So yes, I mean you slink over to the shadows and hide once more. The four fish folk that were flopping around are going to burst from the water and start clambering onto the boat to try and tip it and flip everyone out. So if I could get two of you in the boat to both make 2 athletics checks for me. Of course, Drew at disadvantage.
31.
At disadvantage?
Yeah, nat 20 and an 18.
Fuck off, Drew. Do it again, I dare you.
And a 23.
Dang it! Alright, Bradley.
18 and 14.
Well, that's, okay, well... So, once more, they try to rock the boat, but easily enough, Sludig, you just shift your weight to the other side as they try to pull it, keep it. You even grab onto like the hook that it's tied off on and just hold the boat in place. But Kamin, a foot, an arm is grabbed, and you are yanked, plunged down into the water. And they will try it once more to claw at you. And maybe eventually carry you off to be fed upon, and I rolled a 10, so that's not going to do it, so... Man, it'd be nice to hit with these guys, just once. So, once more, he's just slamming his slimy hand up and down your calf.
God damn it.
This time his wide anglerfish mouth is like right at your ear, and so it's just underwater. It's like
Entirely worse. Made that infinitely worse.
You feel his little anglerfish light rubbing your earlobe.
No, I don't.
Threatening to go. Yeah.
Just hit me.
In my living
Just
room.
kill me, please. No more. So that was their turn. The others are going to swam their way. You know what? They're gonna help. The 2 are gonna try and help with Kamin. Comes full circle with a dirty 20 and a natural 20 to hit.
Yeah, those will hit.
And then Sludig, the other 3 now. Sludig, there's a natural 1, so that definitely misses. But a natural 18, not actually 18. Dirty 18, so regular 18, and then a dirty 20.
Those last 2 hit.
Finally, remember how I said I'd like to hit with these guys? It all came full circle.
I was liking it before, but...
So let's see here. Kamin, how many hit points you got?
45.
Okay. So first is 12 points of damage. Do what? Oh, I thought you said have, and I was like, wait, why? Yeah, you took a level of barbarian here. The second natural 20 strike, 23 points of damage. So what do you at?
10.
Woo, baby! And then Sludig, the 2 that hit you. I'm gonna roll these all at once. That is a... Ooh, I rolled decently. 28 points. Total.
28. Ow.
And then Sludig. At this point, they're not even trying to pull you all down. They're just trying to render you unconscious to make it easy on themselves. They're turning even more animalistic by the moment. So they are all swarming the boat at this point. Kamin, it is your turn. You are underwater and surrounded by a cluster of these folks. What you got for me?
I think it's time.
Oh no, wait, what do you mean it's time?
In this moment of uneasy panic, being pulled down into the water, losing even more blood. Only one of them is actually grappling me right now. The others are just attacking me. Or they
Yes.
all? Okay, cool.
I'm so scared. Oh no. I feel like I know what it is, but I also hope I'm overestimating.
It's bonus action. Sweet. As a bonus action, I'm going to shift.
Okay. Okay.
This is the first time it's happened on stream.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Let me change the music. Let's get all creepy for a second.
Oh no.
Boy.
Let's change it.
So, being dragged down off of the boat and just pulled down deeper and deeper, Kamin's just kind of, at first, just kind of like cover his vitals, and kind of just hunker down. Body starts thriving and moving, convulsing a little bit before the hand that he does still have extends out, and his fingers start to like coalesce into like sharper tipped claws, with the pinky just kind of slowly shrinking a little bit, just kind of sliding down the hand like it's not even there anymore. The skin turns from the more tanned, like pale white, to just like kind of like an inky dark purple, almost black tinge to it, and several tentacles start to grow forth from Kamin's mouth, and it at first, for those underwater who can see it, the tentacles come forward a little bit at a time before finally enough that you can hear the sounds of the jaw bones breaking apart, other bones moving out of the way to make room for this just expulsion of tentacles coming forth from the body, before the rest of his skin just gets taken over by this purple huge tinge. His eyes just kind of glaze over for a moment before coming back with these large yellow irises, as Kamin has shifted. And I am going to fucking lash out at this one that has me grappled.
Definitely do it. I was overestimating. I thought you were gonna time stop to try and get out of there.
That thing's too valuable to turn it to dust yet. Drew raised his hand. So my unarmed strike against...
Shaky hands missed the target.
Oh, what'd you get? What, huh? Bradley, what?
18.
An 18 to hit, definitely.
Cool. So first things first, he takes 8 points of bludgeoning damage. And I need him to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. 19.
Okay, that's a success. So tentacles just shoot out and just start barraging against this guy. And I'm assuming I'm still grappling because I didn't use an action to get out of that. So yeah, I'm still underwater.
About to eat this guy's brain.
I'm gonna try to.
Slurp, slurp.
Oh, God.
Hang on.
Oh man, good thing like no one can see that though.
Yeah.
That definitely would have been calling for some sanity rolls.
Oh yeah.
That's good. Aveline's turn. She hisses. And Kamin, you definitely understand her. She just hisses in a deep voice. False prophet! and lunges at you under the water. I got to. First, a 10 to hit.
It does not hit.
Second, an 11 to hit.
That also does not hit. Even with my shitty warlock AC.
Lunges at you, leaking this vapory shadow into the water around her. But you're able to, probably even your tentacles helping you push you, like reaching around, almost growing. But she does not get a grip on you. One more round. Let's go now bring it to the 3 cultists who are definitely super dead on the ground, and now it's Slutic's turn.
So
You can see
I'm going to use
Kamin
my
getting swarmed.
bonus action to rage.
10 out of 10. Fantastic.
Seeing Kamin get dragged into the water, I know he's already lost a limb. I'm enraged at the thought of potentially losing a friend after finding what I thought was lost. Half lost, 3/4 lost. We'll see.
Yeah, Slutic's been through a lot.
He's trying. But having raged, is there anyone I can attack that is on the boat with me, or are they still kind of in the water trying to just jostle it down?
They're all under the water trying to jostle it down. There's been a few that are kind of bobbing close to the surface trying to claw at you and attack you. But Amina took care of the threats on land.
Awesome. I guess I'll just add a body in the water. I hop in.
Nice.
Then I would like to attack Aveline, actually.
Ooh.
Let's see. And I'm going to go ahead and restless attack. Reckless attack.
That's a good name.
So let's see. Attack 1, a
I used
16.
my restless leg syndrome to attack.
Twitch. Bam.
If you will permit me, Theater of the Mind stuff, will you accept some attacks of opportunity from the folks that were clawing at you and trying to knock you down?
I mean, I don't feel as though I'm of the right to say no.
Since they were actively attacking you and you
Yeah.
jump over to go get Aveline. More of a narrative attack of opportunity. So let us see here. 15 to hit?
That misses.
17 to hit?
That hits.
Okay. So it'll just be 1. And you will take half because you raged. Those were both cocked. How did that happen? That's 10, half to 5. Okay. So you rolled a 16 to hit Aveline.
Yes, for my first attack.
That's gonna do it. I'm gonna roll some damage.
Sweet Lord. 14.
14. Do you have key infused?
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
She's still up?
Yes, resounding thud under the water.
19.
That'll do it.
10.
Still up.
That's action, bonus action. That is it for me.
Okay. Hissing underwater, black vapor spilling from her mouth and eye holes. So down at the bottom, back up to the top with Amina. Just moments ago, your party was in the boat ready to set sail, and then now they're all in the water and party with the deep ones.
I'm gonna cast a spell scroll of hold person on Aveline.
Make she's kind of flopping around with a bunch of people and bodies around her. Make a perception check for me. We'll call this a DC 15 to see if you can get eyes on her.
Okay. 21.
You get eyes on her. Oh, I love it. So let me actually a little bit easier to reference here. Spell Scroll of Hold Person. It has a set DC to it. Pop quiz. What level is Hold Person?
First.
Is it first?
I thought it's second level.
Or maybe second. I thought it was first.
Yeah,
Alright.
5e says it's
It's
second
second,
level.
right?
Alright,
Second.
then
Go
we'll
for
say
it.
it's second level, which means that the save DC is 13, and if I recall, it's a Wisdom save. So someone just did a thing. The Great Catsby. The font made it look like Gatsby. The Great
name.
Catsby. That's awesome. Tell me about your cat. I need to know.
And she will.
So let's see, DC 13 Wisdom save on behalf of Aveline. So that means, oh man, I don't have a thing so I can put up on screen. As dice
Oh,
rolls.
and one other thing too, because I'm hidden, this is also going to be a magical ambush.
Could you have
Nice.
Daniel? You fucked me up.
Because she gets disadvantage.
Nice.
She gets a +1. I need to roll a 12 on disadvantage. The highest I got with the modifiers is 12, so she failed. So she would have gotten an 8 with the disadvantage. So those folks down in the water, Aveline locks up and begins basically to sink like a stone to the bottom.
Yes!
Damn
You're
it,
welcome.
Daniel.
You're welcome.
All right. Anything else, Daniel? You're gonna move closer. Get to the boat.
Well, now that I did what I wanted to do, sneakily, I'm gonna try and get on the other side, close to the boat.
Yeah, easily enough. You could get on the boat if you want to, or you could just stand on the ledge near it.
I'm gonna stand on the ledge near it first.
Sure.
Let me see if you can. Not really too many hiding places to stand too close, but
But
Are
all
you-
of the enemies are underwater now, right?
yeah,
Okay. Perfect.
10-4. Now it's back to the deep ones. All right, let's see. Let me just. I'm just gonna roll some things here.
Still glad I rolled up that backup character.
I know who would have thought you would have just died in the session right after. Oh, fucking boy. Kamin. 22 to hit, 17 to hit. Oh my god. 18 to hit and 9 to hit.
18 hits.
Sludig.
They do have advantage.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
thought it was going to be really bad. So Sludig, a 19 to hit. 12 to hit.
Misses.
Nice. 18 to hit.
That hits.
21 to hit. And an 18 to hit.
Oof.
Hey man, how many hit points you got?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. How much damage did I just take?
Oh, none yet. I'm just asking how many hit points you have preemptively.
10.
That's fine. That's fine.
The first one's 13. So drop to 0.
Yeah, dead.
And then 2 failed death saves.
Cool. So 2 attacks hit?
3 did. The first one dropped you to 0, and then the second and third attack, 1 failed death save, 2 failed death save. And
What were
then
the attack rolls? I thought
20
you said one of them.
22, 17, 18, 9.
Oh, I only heard I missed one of them. Cool.
Oh.
So I died.
one more save. Because you only took.
The first one knocked me to 0. You said I got hit by 3 attacks.
So what? First one dropped you to 0, and then 1 failed death save, 2 failed death save.
Melee attack within 5 feet is an auto crit, which causes 2 failed death saves. I'm dead.
Look at you knowing the rules better than I do.
No.
So Sludig, you watch them, Kamin's body go limp and get pulled down into the water. Sludig, you take 10 half to 5. I'll do the math. And,
Yeah, just tell me the total and I
Yeah.
can half it or either one.
So already have, that is going to be 25.
Ouch.
Okay. Aveline's turn. She is held. Think she can repeat the save?
At the
It says-
end of her turn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So she does, at the end of her turn, break free from the hold person.
Wait, the target. It says she needs to make another wisdom saving throw.
She rolled a 14, and then she has +1, so she got a 15. And the save was a 13. So she breaks free, but again, her
Okay.
turn is null. And that brings it now to... some track here. Sludig.
So I'm in there. There's lots of light near us.
Mhm.
Do I see them definitively kill Kamin?
Yes.
I'm already raging. My head's not right. I beat the shit out of them.
God. Sorry.
Uh, Aveline's back. Gonna take care of her first.
Okay.
Attack 1. Reckless attacking gets me a 16.
She's actually
Oh,
sunken
she's sinking.
now.
Okay, that's true. So yeah, I'll attack one of the deep ones.
Go
16.
for it. 16, that'll do it.
11.
With doing a bit of cleaving and kicking, you're able to knock out 2 of them
Oh.
because they had already been injured.
I'll attack the next one.
Okay.
My second attack for a 21.
Yes, of course.
9 points of damage.
Okay. Still up.
And then I will use a key point to Flurry of Blows. 27.
That'll hit.
12.
Dead. And carries over to a next one.
And there's still more to hit, right?
Yes.
Last attack. Gonna do it. Dirty 20.
That'll hit.
14. Rolled a 6.
14. Dead. Carries over to the next one. So 4 dead, 1 injured, then another 4 beyond that. And now all their bodies are slowly bobbing up to the surface and floating along the top of the water. Just, bloop, just one after the other.
Does Kamin float or sink?
They are stealing him. They are taking
Oh, okay,
him.
okay. So they moved away with him.
Yeah, they would have.
Can I change my plan then?
Sure.
Well, I mean, I would have gone after the ones that moved him, versus just punching the ones around me.
Gotcha. So, will you take some attack of opportunities then? As you leave the ones that were around you?
Yeah. I was raging. I was just going.
Okay. That's only a 12. That's only a 14. A dirty 20. Dirty 20. 21.
3 hit.
3 hits. So first, 12 half to 6. The second, 15 half to 7. And then 18 half to 9. So 22.
Ouch.
But you swim down and you're able to clobber all of the ones that have Kamin. You were able to kill 4 of them, and 4 were with him.
Okay. So if I have any movement left and I can get my head above water, I scream out, Amina, they've killed him. Kamin, these creatures, they've killed him.
Hmm.
We need to get out of here while we can.
Okay.
Right.
And Amina, it is your turn.
How many of the fish folk are still alive, and where are they?
Currently you see 4 bodies floating on the water, and so the rest seem to be all around the boat itself, where Sludig just was.
All around the boat. Okay. And I'm still effectively hidden from them. They don't notice me yet.
Correct.
Cool. I would like to. None of these are going to be like multi-hitting, I think. I'm just gonna start shooting them. Regular crossbow, square to the head.
Okay, so make an
Clean
attack roll.
shots.
Clean shots.
1 shot. Okay. That's gonna be oh no. That's an 11.
You do have advantage since you're hidden. If she's hidden.
Thank you for the reminder. Does that count as a sneak attack?
As a rogue, anytime you have advantage, you get sneak attack.
No. Once per turn, you can deal an extra 1d6.
Yeah, and you would have been able to get into an advantageous enough position. So yeah, go and roll again. Take the higher roll.
Okie doke. All right, slightly better. That's an 18.
That's an 18. Awesome. That will do it. So go and roll your damage, and then you get to add your sneak attack damage.
Great. Okay. Oh, I need to pull up the rogue table. Thank you, 5e. Okay. All right. So initial damage is going to be a 6, and then it's an extra 1d6 for being at first level. I think I have 2.
Ooh, I think you have like 4.
Probably.
You have a lot as a higher level rogue.
I'm just trying to find like the number like it definitely says.
Sneak attack. You guys are what level?
9.
9.
You have 5d6 on top of your crossbow.
Woo! Okay, here we go. So first one was a 6. 3, 4, 5, and 5.
What was the total?
20. 3, 3, 4, 5, and 5.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. So that's another 2 dead. There's only 3 left. Now their bodies keep bobbing up to the surface, crossbow bolts sticking out the backs of their heads, necks snapped from Sludig. Anything else, Amina?
I'll obviously have heard him, and I'll say, "Get to the boat."
Get to the chop up.
I was in the boat. Get to the hopper.
Now I'm putting a lot of stress on Sludig. They swim toward you as you're trying to steal their fresh kill. Did you reckless?
I did.
18 to hit. 21 to hit.
That way I didn't have
14 to hit.
14 misses.
Let's see. Ooh. 7 have to 3. 12 have to 6, so 9 points total.
I'm still alive.
And that's it for those. But of course, they're within range of you now. Aveline is going to swim up and try to just get Kamin from your grasp and try to just pull on him, grab his leg, and try to yank him since she can't swim very easily. So if you'll make an athletics check for me, just a straight roll because of your rage.
23.
There's literally no way for her to get a 23. So
I'm not even worried about breaking his arm anymore, holding tight. He's dead. Like, I feel so I just witnessed, like, a throat being torn out or something. And, like, I'm going to have his body.
It's mine. She ends up with, like, his boots and throws it out into the waterway. And then you start thinking, maybe that's how, in games where fishing's a thing, that's why you find old boots. That's why.
You did
Sea monsters.
Sea monsters. And she hisses and yells underwater. But Kamin. You hear that same whispered voice, but not as sinister this time. Say again, so be it. And you sort of get those strange flashbacks of walking out into the inn, eating with your friend, going out onto the ship, putting on the suit. And then you start to think, hearing that same voice talking about, it was fate, for us to meet that day, saving your life that day, or you would have died down there. And again, you find yourself standing at the bottom of the ocean, glass visor in front of you, bloated, drowned, sunken body clutching this golden statue in its hands. It says, we can do this again. It would be just like last time. Just start anew. Just come back to me.
I appreciate the effort, but sometimes dead things should stay that way. Do I still have the little statue thingy?
It's still in the grasp of this drowned person. Checking your stuff, it's not with you.
Grab it from him and just I'm assuming I still don't have a second hand to break it, so I'm just gonna smash it against my knee.
Okay. Sludig, surrounded by those three, 4 trying to pull Kamin back down.
Do they have a hold on Kamin?
Only Aveline did, and you were able to yank them free. They're mostly now just trying to stop you from getting away.
I'm going...
Wee woo, wee woo.
Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
Kamin's dead. Wee woo, wee woo.
I'm gonna step of the wind to bonus action disengage, and I'm gonna yank Kamin with me as I swim, trying to get to the boat.
Mm-hmm. Easily enough, you can do that, especially with step of the wind and normal movement and jumping.
And I try and climb into the boat with him as well.
Okay.
And do I still have an action?
Yeah, you would.
I am going to wholeness of body. to gain 18 hit points.
Woo-wee!
Good plan, good plan.
How low were you?
18.
Okay. Okay. Sheesh, guys. Okay, so that was Slutig at 6, using movement, bonus action, all that kind of good stuff. Back up to the top with Amina. Amina, you now see Slutig in the boat with Kamin's body.
All right, perfect. As soon as I see that he plops down with Kamin's body under safe and sound, I jump in the boat, cut us loose, and we're heading downstream. All the while, I'm keeping an eye out for whatever else is left alive.
And easy enough, as these deep ones and Aveline's corpse break the surface of the water trying to swim after you, the deep ones way more successfully catch up to you and try to hassle you guys, but, you know, with a, crossbow in hand, grabbing one of the oars and just, it's easy enough to keep them at bay and eventually scare them off for good. Eventually, besides the crashing of water, everything falls quiet. The drift globe drifting slowly behind you guys. And now you're just keeping up with the flow of water. And that's where we'll stop for now. We'll take a quick break, unless you guys want to continue for tonight. And so the 2 other people in the boat could talk, or we could just pick up next week and talk in the meantime.
I'm down for whatever you guys want to do, because I don't have an opinion right now. I'm dead.
So, with our knowledge of the map, how much quicker can we go downriver than trying to swim downriver? How long would it take to get to Driftchapel?
It would probably still take a couple of days.
I feel as though we should probably wait till next time then.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we shall do. I think either way, I'm going to go toilet cat real quick before we doing sign-off stuff. So feel free to chat for a moment, and I'll just be right back.
I died.
Aww.
Ludwig's gonna be wrecked, because, like,
Kamin!
I feel as though Kamin was, in my head at least, Ludwig had, like, run into Kamin probably before Amina. Not long before, but, like, to the point where we've been traveling together for a while. The first person he meets to travel with after the loss of his village, his wife, everyone. Now Kamin's dead.
Yeah.
Oh man, and I never got a chance to really tell you
And,
guys
like,
what happened.
Where's the revenge anymore? Like, his wife is alive, but not brought back to a life of revenge only by people who did not kill her. Who is he angry at? Ludwig's in a spiral.
Whew. Yeah, and is your body still shifted too?
That's a great question.
Yeah, like, does it revert back, or do you just
Could be
die with
fucking
tentacles?
gross.
And we have to, like,
We have to explain to if you try and revive me, like, don't worry, it's not a Gloam monster. He's my friend.
this one's cool, guys. This one's cool. Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Man, you have successfully traumatized Ludwig. You killed his wife is dead. He knew that. His wife is not dead, brought back to life by other evil entities, only to exist as a vengeful person, the opposite-ish of what she was before. Now you kill Kamin, companion of Sludig, on original quest for vengeance that got turned on its head.
I'm not traumatized anymore. I'm dead.
Yeah, I want Bradley's next character to be like the most unaffected character of the Gloam. Be like, oh yeah, like I was living
happens.
super far out west this way. It never came to my town. You should come visit sometime. It was great.
I didn't
It's
stop.
fantastic.
Oh my god.
Yeah, honestly, thought Sludig might die. Like, I think it was just one more round of combat
We were
in the water, and
we were
Sludig
skating
was
right
gonna
at
be
the
sinking
end.
too. You
Yeah,
started busting out
certainly.
20s each turn.
That advantage, that did it.
Yeah. I mean, it helps me because I was poisoned. Every attack would have been a disadvantage. Now it would be normal.
idea of who Amina is. Yes. Has that already been done? The idea of Amina? I assume not. So Daniel,
No.
Jeremy Baker, our friend, says, for those of us just joining, could you give us an idea of who Amina is? Why do people love
Okay.
Amina so much? I mean, I know why,
She's
but
the
like...
best character.
Because she's just that fabulous. Well, honeys, anyway, the story that is Amina Saeed is one of trials and tribulations that take her through the patriarchy that is the Ordisteria, my dears. For she was one of the very first, albeit probably the very first, woman to break the ranks of the otherwise male-dominated school of magics.
The rolling R's got me. Like, it just adds so much.
But yeah, for those of you who do not know, her family unfortunately was killed very early in her childhood. And her sisters, she's the middle child. Her two sisters, one older, one younger. The three of them were cursed/blessed with a specific series of traits that align with either a snake, a spider, or a rose. And we later found Amina's younger sister, Farah, who she thought was dead, as residing with the bog witches, whom, until Amina ran into them, had a really strong, vengeful hatred for. But upon seeing that Farah is alive and kind of well, I guess, albeit in a sort of weird, monstrous way, her identity kind of shifted in those terms, and so now she's just trying to make sure that no further harm comes to her sister, and that the Gloam is stopped by any means necessary. So I think that about sums it up quite nicely for those of you who are newcomers to the stream. That is Shadows over Driftchapel.
Oh, man. You've done it, Logan. You killed someone.
No, it's been a long time.
Honestly, in
This is the
5e
second
level
time Logan
9,
has killed me.
that's talent.
Oh shit, you're right, Bradley. I'm so sorry.
And it's D&D. It happens. And honestly, both times, 100% been my fault.
The first time, effectively, you were like, "Come at me, big
And he
bad."
was like,
"Okay."
This time it was absolutely made the roleplay choice. And I thought about it afterwards. I couldn't have time stopped because I used the 3 charges to
Oh,
get the
that's right,
12
camera
earlier. That
charges,
really helped
yeah.
me out.
Yeah.
But I easily could have, Misty stepped back out of the water or Armor of Agathis myself to give me some more temporary hit points. It's like, nah, I want to fucking eat somebody.
It's one of those things. But, now you guys realize what they meant by, like, hey, it's scary down there.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
And also, as a note for the people in the boat, you could try and navigate the waterways to end up in that new watering hole area that was formed out near the bog, where Dieter drank some of the water. You could try and end up over there. Make your way out.
How detailed was our map? Not very.
Not
right?
very. That's why I said you could try to navigate, but rather than just floating along for however many days. But
Well, that was a pretty big hole, though, so I imagine we could find some light.
try. But we will see what happens next time. Thank you, all of you. We finally did it. Shadows over Driftchapel has had its first death.
Rip.
Rip. R.I.P. We'll see what happens next time. Bradley and I will be talking a lot. He's gonna come in swinging his Dieter. Gonna come in swinging his Amina's sister. But we will find out where they end up next week, following the waterways But until then, check out my Patreon for some very fun D&D content. Been on a dragon kick recently, so go look at that. I'm be posting some free stuff here in the next little bit, but you'll get to see it earlier for your patron. On top of that, Monday is Sharon Night, catching a serial killer murder mystery in a big old urban city. That's lots of fun. They're almost done, so that'll be very exciting. And then we'll do this again in 2 weeks. This group, same time. Well, maybe same group, similar group. But until then, everyone have a wonderful weekend. Of course, Jay Bakes, the sandwich maker. I hope you're able to make it for some other streams and come and hang out. And by then, maybe you'll have a bunch of tinks to be able to spend on some stuff. We'll explain that next time. But until then, everyone have a lovely weekend. And Bradley, what's the weather like in Driftchapel?
Cold.
All right, everyone have a great weekend.